Greetings, my dear BL fans, friends, and countrymen. I'm going to talk a little bit about the just recently finished Cat for Cash, featuring another series with First and Khaotung as main characters. Now, let's say, if you know the history of the series, it is a little bit an outlier. I just had to look it up. I remember them very vividly from The Eclipse, quite a dramatic series. I have not so clear memories on Moonlight Chicken because mostly I didn't click with the story in it. So I have no memory of that. It's like this Gandalf meme that I have no memory of this place. There have been in it, I know, because I looked it up and I see them in the still. But if you would have asked me what First and Kautung's role were in Moonlight Chicken, I had to pass. It left no impression to me whatsoever. So, not saying anything. It's it's just mental efficiency. Then, of course, we have the two great series for which they are famous and in which they were brilliant, which is Only Friends, a big cast series, and The Heart Killers, where they were together with Dunk and Jung in two couples, shall we say. Both Heart Killers and Only Friends were, shall we say, developing both First and Kautung's darker side characters. So both were brilliant, in my personal opinion, despite the sort of depressing dark theme of the both series. But I really liked them in that. I really love First and Khaotung playing borderline darkish characters. So when I saw the first trailer for Cat for Cash, and I must say, I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anyone. I'm not a fan of cats. I mean, I like all animals. Animals are wonderful. Yeah, all animals are wonderful. Let's just leave it at that. I don't know, think if I want a spider or a scorpion in my home. The problem is that I'm a dog person. You see, I grew up with dogs, and I'm not at the time speaking, being 55, and in the last, I don't know, 15 years or so, I could not imagine myself giving the dedication to any pet, cat or dog. And I'm very, very sensitive with my belongings, and I know cats are not very sensitive with belongings, so that is then they can destroy things of you and they can scratch you, and it's like, yes, when I visit people who have a cat, I always get along perfectly, and the strange thing is cats always come to me. Maybe it's because I don't judge them. I don't want them like this, come here, kitty, 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 because I know cats hate that. Maybe not all, but most cats. So they come to the most resting person, and that's usually me, when everyone else is kitty, kitty, come here, come here. And I know cats hate that. So I have a good standing with cats, but I don't like cats so much, because now it's a little bit awkward, because how shall I say it? Putting First and Khaotung in an almost entirely wholesome series, which it was, and it was a good series to say. But after knowing them from Heart Killers, Only Friends, and The Eclipse, all three, which are dramas, and were able to play out fully their dramatic abilities to act, I must admit I had the feeling like their acting skills, which I knew from mentioned series, was not fully possible to display. I mean, of course, we have, I think, 2 or 3 Khaotung crying scenes, and we all know Khaotung is the best crier in, I don't know, GMM TV, at least maybe the best crier on Thailand TV. I don't know. He's a great crier. If you do not cry, if Khaotung cries, you're not really a human being. I'm sorry. But what to say? It was a nice series. Now here's the thing: here in Berlin, there is a saying, and I really hate to break it to you. The German word for nice is nett. It means just the same, and I don't know if it has this ring in the English language, because in Berlin, with the people here where I live, the most outspoken, they say, nice is the little sister of shitty. I'm sorry for it's oh, that's nice. So, and I don't know personally, I don't know how nice I found this series. I mean, there are 2 top actors, a little bit limited in what I know they are capable of because of the mostly harmless story. It was a beautiful setting, but I had the feeling, correct me if you think otherwise, please, really, this is serious in this. I had the feeling this was for a very specific target audience of maybe younger people, maybe more the female audience than BL usually is, because, I don't know, yaoi loving women or girls, yeah, BL loving women or girls, and cats. Maybe that's a stereotype, and I shouldn't say this, but it's like, okay, let's put everything together that we, the creators of the show, think is cute. That the main focus group, young girls or young women, love cats and gay boys, and put them together. For me, as an even when I was young, I was not like that. You know, it's not my thing. If I don't know how to say it, it's in German we have a little bit the word kitsch, which is like something that is a little bit too sweet to be good. That is, it was good, but it was a little bit. I know I've told this about other BL shows already. When there is just lovey-dovey and there is no problem, everyone runs smooth. And when you know my reviews or my comments from our BL group, especially, you know that I like more drama, more something going on, something at the stake. Now there were some things at stake, and there certainly was this, with spoiler warning, happens very early, the death of the mother, and that is, and yes, and that, but the entire thing that the cafe was in debt was a little bit too quickly brushed aside. It could have added more they might have added a little bit more pressure for my personal taste, but then I know you should measure a series or a book or whatever at what it aimed for, and they aimed for a perfect, feel-good, wholesome series. But let's compare it to another series from not so long ago, which also had this game, which was Me and Thee, with Pond and Pubin, which also, where they said this, it was over the Christmas time. This is the perfect, wholesome family Christmas time feel-good series. And still there was something, because of the comical element, which captivated me. And I had the feeling, I don't know, I can't pinpoint exactly what, but there was something oomph, something, a last bit of spice that was lacking there. I can't say what it is. Maybe a little bit more drama, maybe a little bit misunderstandings that are not solved just 20 minutes later again. I'm exaggerating the conflict between, like, the appearance of Satang, who played, I think for the last time, unfortunately, since the breakup of Winnie Satang as a ship, uh, here in a semi-main role. He played his roles good as he usually does, and there was a little bit background romance for the a little bit, all have a little bit of tear in our eyes thinking about that. I don't know if how you think about Winnie Satang, but I understand, just to give this side thought a little bit space. I understand, just to be honest, Winnie is not on the top 10 of lookers. So let's be honest here. I mean, I'm a hope goblin from Undermountain, so it's not that I'm saying this to blame. But this industry is harsh. It's super competitive. Your looks, your skills, especially the looks. It's just how reality is. But I found this, I won't say, maybe it's a little bit of a contrast. Like Satang is like really a prince, and he played this several times. And Winnie is usually, he's looking like more like an everybody. And I personally felt that should be room for stories like that. But I don't know. I won't speculate about the breakup, having no information whatsoever. I just wanted to notice it because knowing that it was likely the last time we saw them together in a somewhat, if only hinted or undertone uh, relationship together, which is something to salute to the days of Winnie Satang, who brought us quite nice series. Back to Force and Khaotung, I think, and that is one thing playing into my verdict, they they were underused. It's like you have the top actors, in my personal opinion, in GMM TV, and give them a series which does not really demand very much of them. They made the best of it, made it probably better than, imagine any other actors in this series. The same plot, same story, and BL actors with less skills, or unknown actors. And I'm quite certain we would all rate the story lower. It's my personal opinion about this. And they were the most elevating about the series to see. That's what is my personal problem with the series. So we have a series which is not really so interesting. Managing a cat cafe, talking to cats. I mean, it's not like I'm into the fantasy and the fantastic, but it's not like the cats had really meaningful things to say, Like there was not some. It was not like totally boss. What a revelation! Besides talking to cats, that is. And even though sometimes they delivered a few informations that the people in the story didn't know, but there were no strong catalyst driver actually, beside from being there and from being as cute as you think cats are. Well, that said, it makes giving a verdict extremely difficult. Maybe one of the most difficult reviews that I have to make. The settings were nice, were not over the top, because most of the time it was in the good-looking cat cafe, but there was, I think, the only other place I can remember now is the family's homes of the parents of one of the characters and the grandparents of the other, which were a few times shown, not very often, not leaving a really big impression than this small room of the veterinarian doctors. So there wasn't much scenery to look at. The cat cafe, however, was well designed. It was good to look at, well structured, very interesting. But it was essentially, that also is like, yeah, you have one location which is the location, which is a good location, but it's kind, yeah, there is. I mean, what are you supposed to do with cats? They are supposed to be in one location. But all these things add to I have no real feeling. I felt I have watched a wholesome, good story and I had a good time. But measuring it with the real top highlights, like Hard Killer's Only Friends on the Eclipse, this is not one of the better series of First and Khaotung, though I suppose it will have quite positive reviews, mainly because of. I mean, I said I want something wholesome with the two where there's no death, no murder, no, I don't know, whatever. The darkness of when Only Friends and Heart Killers were not really wholesome stories for the peace of mind. But on the other hand, lacking what demands their full skills. In hindsight, I have to say, I was glad that they were finally in a series without emotionally scarring moments. But it also not demanded the full performance from them that they can give. So I felt that there was something lacking. Like, I can't put my hand upon it. So just more out of a gut feeling. I know the problem is, I say it again, I have taken my rating from 1 to 10 very seriously. So I know many reviewers, especially in the professional area, I know this especially from gaming. There is this phenomenon that an 8 of 10 is usually seen as a bad review already. And this is a problem in the review industry, which I don't share. I have the full spectrum. And for me, if I say, for instance, it's a 5 of 10, it's still a watchable series. Or a 6 of 10 is already something, that's better than average. So when I keep that in mind, when I'm going to give my verdict, which, despite all the goodness that the main attraction that was First and Khaotung playing in a wholesome series, I cannot in good conscience give this series any more than 7 out of 10. And I know it may, if you're used to the review scene, then 7 out of 10 is usually, this was a bad game, this was a bad movie. No, that's not. 7 is 2 points above average, which is quite good. But it's not something that will leave a lasting impression, which I will remember in 2 years down the line, unlike Only Friend and Heart Killers or The Eclipse. That is to be. I would be unfair to the highlights these 3 series were if I gave them an 8 of 10. So I must go with what I feel is right, and my verdict remains 7 out of 10. A good watch, but nothing to write home to be frank. So I'm interested. They already are somewhere in the Invisible Dragon. I'm not sure. That's the next project for First to finally cut his hair. I don't like guys with too long hair. Sorry, it's just a personal preference. So we're looking out when this is coming out this year, supposedly. Is there already a date? No, I can't see it here quite now, but I am no idea what's it about, and I'm not going to fill this long audio with more to say. Let me know in the comment or in our forum what you think about my review, about my opinion about this. Thanks for listening, and have a great day.